El Excentrico magazine was published from 1949 April to April of 1981, and we're able to capture thousands and thousands of events related to La Raza Historical. There are over 700 issues that are now currently being digitalized and will be available for the public within the next few months, by the end of this year, 2019. Later, you'll learn additional information relative to my father, Humberto Garcia II, who was the publisher, founder, editor. And here's a few photographs of the staff over the years. You'll have access online to the entire portfolio of El Excentrico. On Saturday, the 28th of September, there was a funeral held for Alvera Diaz, wife of Richard Diaz. And Dr. Ramon Martinez and I, and Fernando Sisqueta, and Carl Saltero, and attended the funeral services. Was the wife of Richard Diaz, el Fotografo de las Estrellas. Richard photographed for the better part of 30 years community events throughout Santa Clara County. At the funeral, I was able to meet the niece of Alvera Diaz, and I introduced myself by saying that I was the son of the publisher of El Excentrico magazine, and Richard Diaz had provided thousands and thousands of photographs over the years for El Excentrico. And she was ecstatic over the fact that we had a personal connection and that she was looking for someone to preserve the hundreds and thousands of photographs and negatives that Richard had provided over the years. And lo and behold, we were able to get one of the many, several boxes, and each of these is filled with 100 11 by 4.5 by 5 negatives, originals, with thousands, over 3,000 originals, and some of them even have smaller negatives. So this is like a gold mine of historical society, historical La Raza events, social events throughout Santa Clara County for the better part of 40 years. He and his wife were very socially inclined and attended most of the functions of La Raza, from parades to quinceañeras to weddings to all functions relative to our society. We were fortunate enough to be invited by the niece of Alvera Diaz, who took care of her in her last days after the passing of Richard Diaz. So the niece Connie invited us to visit all the items that Richard had stored away, and one of them was a phenomenal camera. He's got lots and lots of original equipment. This is a Cambio, I believe, and this is a 4 by 5 camera that was actually used for many of those photographs that you see there. It also has a number of other additional cameras, and we're very fortunate to obtain these for the society. We have many other items, including we have thousands and thousands of photographs and negatives into countless. We can have a whole career. Each of these has negatives galore. But I found a very interesting treasure that was on the floor, actually. Would you believe this is actually Ray Charles, where he came to San Jose as a young man. It's amazing. Richard had all the passes in the world. He had police passes to get into any event there in Santa Clara County. El Fotografo de las Estrellas means the photographer of the stars, and now we know why. It's amazing the opportunities that he had to photograph all kinds of touring groups. Here's another touring group that comes from Mexico, comes a cowboy ensemble that comes to the Bay Area and tours, and thousands of other photographs, treasures that we find. Another unique treasure that I discovered was, look at this fabulous photograph. Ted Kennedy on the right-hand side, Congressman Don Edwards, San Jose Mayor Tom McHenry, former Mayor Norman Mineta, and now there's the International San Jose Airport named after him. And we don't have the identity of the woman on the left and the man in the extreme left. All of the items that we obtain today will be stored at the Chetty House at Kelly Park in San Jose. We're going to display a wall literally with Richard Diaz's thousands of photographs on a rotating basis. So it's quite important for us to capture the history of the Raza community in Santa Clara County for future prosperity.